Good morning. My name is Seth, your Metro Detroit real estate expert, and with me, as always, Mr. Steve Frost, your mortgage expert.
Brian.
Today, we have not too much to hit on, not too much different from last week. I do have a couple of data points I want to hit before Steve gets into rates. So, looking on a nationwide basis, all of these points that I'm going to go over are all US across the board. So, nationwide, 6.4% of homes on the market right now in this past month have encountered a price reduction. So that means that the price that they went on the market, let's say they went on at $300,000, 6.4% of the total amount of houses that are on the market took some type of price reduction. So let's say you had a house for $300,000 that now went down to $275,000 to try to get it sold, right? And that is the highest it's ever been since November 2022 because we've had such a low amount of inventory, like we always talk about, and we've had pretty strong buyer demand despite the rates with that inventory that we've had. Now we're starting to see inventory go up a hair and buyer activity actually starting to back off just a hair as well, even going into this spring summer market that we got. Active listings right now, this is a May to May comparison, so year over year, up 15%. And that's the highest as well since December of 22 at this time. So we are starting to see that inventory kind of creep up a little bit. It's actually at 3.2 months right now. And an actual balanced market is 6 months of inventory. So we're starting to creep towards more that balanced inventory, and we do have less buyers than we would normally have in a normal summer market. So I would almost say, Steve, that right now, if we get up to like maybe a 4 months of inventory, 4 or 5 months, that we'd be more in a balanced market. Would you agree?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is it's a nice gift for buyers. And I think some of this correlates with the timing. So anybody that has kids right now knows that, last week and this week and next week are like 3 or 4 really, really busy weeks, like locally anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how that correlates into markets or how you can put that into this, statistics, but it is just crazy busy right now as we head into the season. So you get a seasonal increase in inventory. You have interest rates move up and still remaining relatively elevated. And then you just have the busy before summer season when families are really trying to figure out getting the year wrapped up.
Mm-hmm.
So as a home buyer, this is a great thing for you. I mean, it's been so long. Like I've got a couple contracts right now that people are buying homes under the listing price, which is such a crazy shift from other clients I have bidding over ask. And again, I still have some of those too. So it's really just a matter of the product that you're selling. The market speaks, and there are times when, people don't question or they don't scrutinize your house quite as much. And then when you start getting a few more on there, it's like, like you should have maybe painted the doors or
Mm-hmm.
something. You know what I mean? Like people are starting to scrutinize a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, I feel that. I am going to cover some good news for you sellers. Don't worry. The last couple of points that I do have is more for sellers on a good note. So 44% of homes going off the market within 2 weeks. So a house that's going up for sale for $300,000 is typically, if you got a 50-50 shot almost of it going off the market in just 2 weeks. And then the average list to sold price ratio is still right at 99.5%, which is really strong. So if you price your house right, typically you're going to get that full price offer on it and it's going to sell for that. The one last point that I have today is that 31.8% of homes sold are actually selling above listing price. So like you've said, 1 in 3 homes right now that are hitting the market are going above asking. And I've said this time and time again, and I'll say it again if you're just tuning in for the first time. Typically, these homes that are selling over asking right away like this are homes that are completely turnkey, that don't need any type of work. There's some type of a certification if you're here in like the downriver area like I am. There's a certificate of occupancy is what they call it. And your house is just pretty much ready to go with absolutely no repairs needed. Those are the houses that are coming on the market and selling over asking right away. Would you agree, Steve?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. That's all I have for you today. What about you, Steve?
Yeah, I mean, again, not much to add. It's almost like beating a dead horse with rates, just because we're waiting for inflation to go down or for people to start losing their jobs. So, not exactly stuff that can be controlled that easily. So we're continuing to see Slow progress on inflation. So we got revised GDP reports back today, which give us a little bit of a look into personal consumption expenditure. So that's a big inflation report that actually comes out tomorrow. But today is kind of the precursor to that. We saw that was down 0.1%. So again, a slow roll, but making progress. We got in some employment reports today also. So it's first time unemployment claims filers. That was at about 219,000 new people filing for unemployment claims. So, those are staying about where they need to be for the Fed to really start making moves. We'll probably need to see those unemployment claims creep up closer to 300,000 and be sustained. And for the Fed to feel comfortable with inflation, we're going to need more than 0.1% um, every month, because that's not getting us far enough toward their 2% target. So, we're trading in that range, right? We're like 6.75 to 7.25, and it just depends on which way the wind is blowing that day, which one of the Fed officials has something to say, if they're in a good mood, or if they're feeling bullish or bearish or whatever they're feeling that day, and they've got a bad outlook on rates, then rates are going to be a quarter higher that day. And if you like today, rates, the data we got was not bad. It wasn't good, but it was not bad. So rates came back down and we gained a quarter back that we lost yesterday. So it's just kind of playing in that same pond. I mean, the one thing we know is that rates will come down. I mean, it's the Fed knows that the policy that we have right now is very restrictive, and it's just taking longer for it to work than they thought. But I mean, the plan is not to keep rates this high. So at some point they will go down. And the cliche of date the rate, marry the house is definitely something that's still in play. It's just a matter of making sure that whatever you do now, that you get what you want as far as your home, and that you're comfortable in making the payment for an extended period of time. The other the other thing I would tell borrowers right now too, and people watching this, is really do your own research on how to figure out your property taxes, because property taxes are capped based on when you bought your home and what the value was then. And as you go in and buy these homes, there have been, inflation adjustments made to property taxes, and your taxes become uncapped at all-time high values. And I had somebody tell me the other day, like, hey, my taxes are not going to be $4,000 on this property. I'm like, your taxes are $4,000 on that property. Like, that's, if you go ahead, you look at the millage rates, you look at the equalized value, like, this is what you're going to pay for your property tax. So really do your research. Taxes on $300,000 homes in a lot of cases are $6,000 now. I mean, they're just high. Almost 2% of your purchase price is the estimate I'm using right now. And it's just a good way to set yourself up for success rather than being surprised by property taxes later.
Yeah. Great. Great, 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 great. Anything else?
That's it. That's all I got.
All right, perfect. Nice and short and sweet for you guys today. If you guys need anything, we'll put both of our phone numbers up here in the description. And you guys have a good day. We'll see you next week.
All right. Thanks, Seth.